Welcome! I've played and enjoyed the second closed beta test, which was all about a new Monster Hunter game. So let's talk about Monster Hunter Outlanders. As someone who loves this franchise, I honestly wasn't surprised that we would one day get a Monster Hunter game that tries to recreate a modern feedback loop on a smaller device. Outlanders isn't the next big mainline entry, but it's a huge step for this entire IP. Having spin-off games like this shows that the developers have enough resources to hand off development to completely different studios, who might add still have to stay true to the original vision and essence of Monster Hunter as a whole. And I want you to keep in mind that they can't make shit up. They have to get approval whenever they want to introduce new mechanics, designs, and monsters. Yes, they stated that they would work together with Capcom to create brand new monster designs. Like the one being teased in the very logo of the game, depicting an enormous creature the size of an entire mountain. But what exactly is Monster Hunter Outlanders? Many players can't always recognize what kind of genre video games are from a few snippets, but after I saw these specific character designs, I knew that they were featuring the characters front and center. These are over-designed for the average hunter, which ever since the first teaser brought me to the conclusion that Outlanders will feature gacha mechanics. Oh well, we'll get to that when we get there. Dear GOG. Before we all get really opinionated, let's talk about the fundamentals of Monster Hunter Outlanders. You start off in a small little village. Here we can do the familiar stuff. Craft new gear, accept optional story quests, and of course, eat a meal meant for at least like 12 great Jagras. After that you can interact with the crafting system. We have the usual stuff, potions, mega potions, antidotes, and even protective gear that is meant for extreme climates. I personally love the pickaxes of varying quality, which will of course perform a whole lot better for a longer amount of time. And yes, they can break. Don't ask how I know. Now that we have the preparation part done, we can finally start with the, hunting part of Monster Hunter. The areas of Outlanders are big open zones, each with their own identity. The game starts off with a simple forest featuring pretty basic vegetation, until you find gigantic trees and highly elevated cliffs. Honestly, traversal would suck pretty hard in this game if it wasn't for the facility system. Facilities allow the player to customize the map to their liking. They will stay permanently deployed so that you can use stuff like ziplines as often as you need. Feature some of the buildable options in the footage shown. I'm loving this addition since they allow for not just time spent to be more efficient with logical placement of these, but they make moving around very fun. Especially the ballista, which will launch you at Mach 50. After being shot like a high-velocity anti-monster bullet, your character will pull out the glider, in addition which was to be expected with the style of game. But the glider is honestly not comparable to other similar-looking ones that have saturated this market. You have a gauge that will allow you to maintain extreme speed and air mobility until it runs out, and recharges again from a neutral ground position. You can also gain height by spending the very same gauge. Everything that I have covered from pickaxes to the glider's abilities need to be unlocked and upgraded in the skill tree. Yes, you have heard me right, this game gave Monster Hunter a whole skill tree. Many of the shown facilities will be unlocked here. You gain skill points by simply exploring the different areas. But why even explore in the first place? The world is littered with carvable looking monsters. Oh, and these cute crab chests have the purpose to give you premium currency once you loot them. This and much more is very similar to Genshin Impact, which has set a lot of standards for modern mobile games, especially in terms of monetization. Outlanders will feature gacha mechanics, which means to build your own team of 4 characters. The game wants you to spend in-game or real-life currency to have a chance of getting the desired character. Many modern gacha games have a so-called pity system, giving you a guaranteed, usually rare character, But here's where it gets scummy. There's a 50% chance you will not get the featured, often newly released character, instead getting one from a pool of different characters. Outlanders, just like MiHoYo games, follow the bare minimum standards that are expected from modern gacha. For example, you at least get a guaranteed featured character the next time you manage to get lucky, so you can't get shafted forever, but it can take as long as 180 pulls, since a rare character is guaranteed every 90 pulls. Lucky you, cause most of the time you won't need anywhere near that amount, since the last 20 pulls have buffed odds, and statistically you are getting what, or better said, who you want before that godforsaken number. The main reason you want these characters is because of the spin on familiar weapon playstyles. These characters often play wildly different from the Fated Adventurer, the standard character, which thanks to his passive can play every single weapon in the game. With a mostly Monster Hunter world based moveset, with some new additions like this over-the-top longsword move. Now that we discussed the gacha, why keep playing it? Once you explored the open world and kept up with the story, you get into... Like many gacha games, you will be able to play into the strengths of your character. To give you a glimpse into building strong teams, you need to understand what roles exist. The roles in this game are pretty broad, like assault type characters dealing a lot of damage. Disruptors focus on stunning and debuffing monsters. Karis, for example, has an ultimate ability that flinches the monster while also increasing the damage they will overall receive, especially on that marked spot where the bone cluster has penetrated their skin. Supports heal, buff damage and generate shields, but important to note they are broadly classified, not defined by their roles. Madeline might be a classified support, but her heal is based on some of her offensive stats. Plus she herself uses a bow that relies on a uniquely mobile playstyle to apply up to 10 stacks, which then can get detonated to deal 1 instance of damage per stack. Her damage skills also get enhanced with poison afterwards. It's really fun to build teams around these synergies, but you can go further. After slaying a monster, you can rush to the forge to see what newly unlocked weapons or armors you can now craft, upgrade and equip, just like how it's done in the mainline series. Next up are illustrations. Like other gachas, these are the equivalent of artifacts, giving your character set bony and massive stats like crit rate and crit damage being the big ones here. These are based on RNG and you get them after hunting monsters, but unlike other gachas, the devs have made changes that these illustrations do not require any kind of energy to be farmed, making it a lot more rewarding for active players. I also like how character duplicates are handled in this game. They are by no means perfect, but a lot more creative. Instead of just getting raw stats for that character after pulling them multiple times, you get skill points that can be used for skills costing 5 or 30 skill points, with more skills changing their game plans drastically and adding new effects. But after all that, what content is there after building a team? Okay, let's be honest. Gachas and endgames have never really delivered. Often they are just pay-to-win PvP events or pay-to-win PvE events, and you often struggle completing them, and if you complete them they are often still not very fun and lack a lot of content. What I really appreciate about Outlanders Endgame is that you have choice, a variety of content types that you can do. The big ones are the Elder Dragons and of course Arena Quests. Go into it and try your best and compete against other players on a fair and even ground, which is really appreciated. The most exciting times were the Elder events, where you will fight powerful monsters, often so-called Elder Dragons, who are strong enough to kill by just looking at their unique difficulty toggles, of which you can turn on as many as you want to get extra points to either compete in leaderboards or to get extra rewards from the event quicker in fewer hunts, in exchange for much harder hunts. It starts off with more HP or attack stats, but gets really creative by altering their famous gimmicks and enabling extra hazards in the arena. I really like how much the community works together during and before these events. Everyone is planning what to bring for these, and if you use matchmaking or bring this unknown concept called friends, you will have to really plan around it, which is quite nice. I'm very hopeful for this game. The decisions they have made were very pro-consumer, which is like very nice. one big move was that buddies were moved from a gacha pool to events only, so they were kinda moved into the same niche like bamboos from Zenless, which you can only gather and collect by playing the actual fucking game. You cannot pay for buddies in the future, and they promised horizontal progression instead of vertical, so we won't get, if they keep it, that is, we won't get bloated kids that just are stronger variants of older ones. We will get instead different playstyles, like an airborne heavy bowgun that just stays in the air, or a bow that has to time its shots like a rhythm game, or a greatsword user that wants to get hit for the final move, which is like what we actually got so far, which is not bad. It's a great start. Thank you so much for watching all that, you know. If you want, you can check out my other stuff. Otherwise, have a nice day.